The thing that removes the fluff, this is a very powerful, this is not a tea. Everybody calls it a tea. This is a food. One night at a meeting, I said, this is not a tea, it's a food. So a guy took one of these down to hospital there in Tulsa and said, would you analyze this tea? And the analysis came back, it's not a tea, it's a food. This is the opposite of Nu Plus. Nu Plus is expansive. Calli is contractive. We've had people get rid of hemorrhoids and varicose veins, chelate and pull heavy metals from the body. This is, I would recommend a bag per gallon when you're just starting. We got this in the mail with no instructions. We made it a bag per cup because this is a tea bag. And boy, did we ever cleanse. We had no idea what was going on. It was so powerful, I couldn't pass a tree on a golf course. People I was playing golf with said, you better go to the doctor. I wouldn't tell anybody what I was doing because I thought Chinese herbs sound kooky anyway. But so we found out as we went along that it's better if you're fluffy, and most people in America have some fluff, to drink it weaker and then strengthen if you need to. But this needs to be steeped in warm water. In 10 minutes, the nutrition is pulled out of the bag and the water is, becomes a food. And this is my water. I drink it all day long. At one time, I was 20 to 30 cups of coffee a day when I coached in college football. We'd go to work at 7 in the morning till 1 at night, so I'd live with a coffee pot. Wonder I lived to be 60 to try this. I totally lost my taste for caffeine. I was still making a gallon of coffee every day, and all at once the gallon of coffee would sit there 2 or 3 days, so we quit making it. But it'll help balance the cravings. The body has to balance expansive, contractive, hot and cold, and pH. If you eat meat, you'll crave sugar because meat is very contractive. Your body wants something to balance. A bipolar person was very expansive and become manic, and they can't come back in. Then they come back in, become contracted, and become very depressed. We should flow in and out every day. Nu Plus is expansive, Calli is contractive. They are two opposite energies that balance each other. I like mine hot, because I guess because I drink all that coffee hot, so you can chill it after you prepare it. But this is Calli, and it helps remove that fluff. Harold O'Rourke came to us, and he worked as a chemist, a biochemist, 62 years old. He was 5'9", weighed 272 pounds. And he watched our tape, and he said, I've been in the chemistry field all my life. I don't see how anything can work like that. And I said, well, Harold, come over. I guaranteed him, and it's the only one I would guarantee, because people will cheat. I found that out. I said, I'll guarantee you this will work if you'll follow my formula. And he stayed completely out of the negative foods. In 7 months, he lost 70 pounds. He said, my mental clarity is better than it's ever been. And if you go on the program, you start changing, you'll have more energy, the mental clarity will change, and your skin will totally change. Most of my age spots are gone. Not that I miss them, but it's nice just to look there. I looked at so many people 75 years old, and they have large spots on their arms from age spots. Those will come up to the top and flake off. They're things my liver couldn't break down, evidently, and they'll come up the top, they'll flake off, and they're gone. But that's neat. But Harold went to the library and checked everything that I talked about, and he said it's worse than what you say. And I said, well, I don't try to make it too bad. Most people think it's bad enough already. After 7 months, he broke that vow to not go into those acid foods. He went back in the negative foods and gained 12 pounds in 2 days. He said, now I understand. Everybody has to try it. It took him 7 months before he did, but you eat the negative foods, you cause more stress, more albumins leak loose, you retain fluid in your interstitial space. My eyes water, Lois's fingers swell. We can eat minestrone soup and a salad at a restaurant, and there's so much sodium in it, it retains fluid. And so this is Calli, Nu Plus and Calli. When I found this, I've had physiology and kinesiology and biology and chemistry and all that stuff, for whatever it's worth. But when I found this, I had to have some idea how it worked. That's just the way my mind works. And I started reading Chinese books, and they said, you need 5 different colors every meal for your energy to flow. That meant nothing to me from my study in the Western science. So I went to a gentleman out at ORU that taught engineering, and he's here today. And I said, how's energy flowing? He said, gravity pulls all energy down. And I said, that doesn't make much sense. How can it flow through my body? He said, it can flow from the warm to the cool, or high potential to low potential. The 5 colors have a different frequency. Everything in your body, every organ has a certain frequency. Red has the longest frequency and it's the coolest. It'll pull the energy to your head. Yellow foods feed the stomach. White foods feed the lungs. Black foods feed the kidneys. Then green foods feed the liver and the defense mechanism. And so Dr. Chen put together a formula with 48 different herbs. And in these 48 different herbs, you have the 5 different colors, and each color has a certain frequency. When you dial in 98.1 on your radio, you don't get 1,000.6, I hope. You always get the same frequency. When you eat red foods, it goes to the same organs that has that same frequency and strengthens those organs. This strengthens the organs. And we don't diagnose. If your body's out of balance, feed it correctly, get rid of the junk, and let the body come back to balance. If I had a young man in my weight program in football and he had weak legs, I'd put him on a special program for his legs. Well, that's what I say. The quinary works the same way. If you have weak lungs, you need to strengthen and balance the energy in your lungs. Conco is a special formula of just the white foods to balance the frequency of your lungs. If you have asthma, you need to eat more Conco. If you have allergies, you need to eat more Prime-Again. It balances the endocrine system. If you have digestive problems, and most Americans have digestive problems, acid reflux is not too much acid. It's not enough acid to break the protein down, and gases bubble back up. You can eat Assimilate and it'll pull the acid from the body and balance the acid in the stomach so you can start digesting your protein properly. Protein starts digesting in the stomach, becomes a polypeptide, and then the enzymes in the small intestine break it down into amino acids. Dr. John McDougall in his book says if you eat hamburger, you double your chance for cancer because it has to be cooked to 160 degrees. The gentleman from Duke University, I asked him one day, I said, what if I cook my meat to 135 degrees? He said, if you cook it to 125 degrees, you cross-link the protein, it becomes a tangled mess, and you probably get nothing from it. And if you eat the meat rare today, there's another problem. So that's a choice. It's things that you have to think about and how you want to treat your body, and if you need more fluff. I can help you get more fluff as well as get rid of fluff if you want more fluff. LifeStream is for the kidneys. And your kidneys filter the blood about 40 times a day. They balance the minerals in the body. They're very important. You wear your kidneys out with a high-protein diet. You affect the colon and the kidney and the liver with a high-protein diet because there's too much urea nitrogen is deadly to the body. When you kill the animal, the urine goes through the meat and actually gives it its taste. The green foods are for the defense mechanism. There's only one way that you'll even come close to having the health and the endurance for life that you need is take responsibility for your own health. Until we do, I wish we could see more children being fed properly because we're depleting our whole national budget with drugs and Medicare, and we're not on a drug, and we're not going to be on a drug because I found out how to take care of my body. It was nice to have you here today, and if you get this tape, talk to the person that gave you the tape if you're interested. Thank you.